Hi, I'm Camille Knight with BenchBUD, and today I'm going to show you how to assemble the BenchBUD base and work surface. Step 1. Before you begin, make sure to lay the work surface on a protected surface with the pilot holes facing up. Also, the legs must be in the lowest position before installing hex rods. First, place the left leg column, labeled X, onto the work surface and align with pre-drilled pilot holes. Make sure that the leg is in its lowest position. Insert the short hex rod R through the left motor assembly, V, starting at the bracket side of the motor. Now, slide the hex rod into the left leg drive input hole. The hex rod should slide all the way into the leg. If the hex rod is not properly aligned with the drive input, slightly rotate the motor 1/6 or 1/3 of a turn. Pro tip: you can use the hex rod wrench, labeled O, to rotate the hex rod if you're needing help to align with the drive input. Step 2. Place the right leg column Y onto the work surface and align with the pre-drilled pilot holes. Make sure that the leg is in its lowest position. Next, insert the short hex rod R through the right motor assembly W, starting at the bracket side of the motor. Slide the hex rod into the right leg drive input hole. The hex rod should slide all the way into the leg. If the hex rod is not properly aligned with the drive input, slightly rotate the motor 1/6 or 1/3 of a turn. Pro tip: you can use the hex rod wrench O to rotate the hex rod if you're needing help to align with the drive input. Step 3. After the hex rods are installed, align the left motor bracket and the corresponding mounting holes on the left leg column, X. Position the lock washers, G, and tighten motor mounting bolts, F. Repeat to attach the right motor bracket to the right leg column, Y. Step 4. Align the U-channels, Q, with the pre-drilled pilot holes. Now, attach the U-channel to the work surface with the washer head screws, labeled E. Do not fully tighten until all screws have been installed. Pro tip: for proper alignment of pre-drilled holes, first insert screws at the 4 corners of the U-channel, then install the remaining screws. Hole placement may vary depending on table width. Step 5. Slide cross supports, P, over leg cross support brackets. Step 6. Install the bolts and washers, labeled J and K, into the cross support using the provided Allen wrench, labeled M. At this time, do not fully tighten the bolts and washers. Step 7. Align assembled base with the pre-drilled pilot holes. Now secure the base to the work surface using the washer head wood screws, labeled E. Do not fully tighten the wood screws until all have been inserted. Pro tip: for proper alignment, first insert screws at the 4 corners of each leg mounting bracket, then install remaining screws. Step 8. Fully tighten the bolts in both cross supports that were first installed in Step 6. Step 9. Mount the control switch, S, to the work surface using 2 wood screws, labeled H. For standard install, align the switch with the pre-drilled pilot holes in one of the 3 location options provided. Step 10. Mount the control box, labeled T, to the work surface using 2 wood screws, labeled H. For standard install, align the control box with the pre-drilled pilot holes in one of the 2 location options. However, the control box can be installed in any location, wire lengths permitting. Please take note that there is a required orientation for the control box. The long side of the control box must run parallel to the long side of the work surface. Also, the table will not operate unless the control box is screwed tightly to the table without any play. Step 11. Install the wire management channel, labeled L, and cord clips, labeled I, to organize the cords and cables using the washer head wood screws, E. Please note that pilot holes are not provided. If you need some extra help, see the cable mounting diagram in your instructions. Pro tip: mount the wire management channel L with the adhesive strips and 2 wood screws, E. Insert 1 screw on the flat edge of each side of the wire management channel to penetrate the plastic and the work surface. Step 12. Plug the control switch, S, motors, V and W, and power cables, U, into the control box, T. Then plug the power cable into an outlet. Now, with the table still upside down, go ahead and test your BenchBUD to see if the assembly was successful. To complete the test, we're going to first hold the down arrow on the control switch until the table no longer moves to complete the reset mode. Once the table is in its lowest position, push the up arrow. If the table's legs move properly, your installation was a success. Pro tip: have casters or accessories to add? Make sure to install them before you flip your BenchBUD right side up to make the process easier. You can find those installation instructions in the description below. Now you can flip the table right side up and begin use. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you have any other questions about the assembly of your BenchBUD, please feel free to reach out to our customer service team. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things BenchBUD. Thanks for watching.